People ask me how I make glittery glitter bomb polishes like this sit so smooth. It is kind of difficult because they are just freaking 90% glitter. So I picked out one of my femme fatale, one of the glitteriest ones I own, and a nice base coat to go under it. I think it's important to put a base coat under glitters like this because it makes it much easier to get them to sit smooth. You don't have to worry about the base being transparent in little places. It covers up a lot of mistakes and makes the glitters look better. So I'm going to start by showing you how I put on the base coat and how I clean it up using these lovely things. And then when choosing a base color for indie glitters, it's important to choose one that's going to go on in one coat or maximum two, because otherwise your nails will end up incredibly thick. This is one of my favorite undies because it only really ever needs one coat. Now, as you can see, I've stuffed up the edges a little bit there, because I am a human being. So, let's get some nail polish remover. And a little tiny brush. And you wipe some of the excess off first. And there. It's not perfect, but it'll do because we're going to go over the top. So here's a hand I've prepared earlier, and that's a sentence I've been waiting my whole life to say. I've let them dry for a couple of minutes, because if you don't let them dry, it gets all mixed up and gross. So let them dry for at least 5 minutes, longer if you can deal with it. Now we've got our shiny. Now with the first layer of glitter, you want to put a bunch on. Put a really thick blob on it. And then just kind of push it around. You don't want to swipe it in the same way that I did the cream, because otherwise all the glitter will just come back off. So just kind of mush it around until it's in the general shape that you want. Try not to get any glitter hanging off the edge, because that's a real pain in the butt to clean up later. So see, now we've got a relatively even layer of shiny. And I'll do another one just to prove it can be done more than once. Just blob it on and kind of dab it around. Now because this layer is quite thick, you really need to let this one dry. Let this dry for at least 10 minutes before you come back and do your next layer. And now we're ready for the second layer of glitter. With this one, you don't have to dab it on as much. You can just swipe it over really gently, and that will help to smooth out any bumps that you've gotten. Because the nature of glittery polish is that it tends to get quite bumpy. You can see I'm swiping it on like I did the plain color underneath, and that helps to just smooth it all out. If you really want to, you can dab more than one layer, but I find that with polishes that are this full of glitter, you really don't need to. And if you dab more than one layer, it becomes really thick. Once again, with this one, because you're swiping, not dabbing, you have to be extra careful to keep the glitter off the edges of your nails, because it really sucks when you've gotten everything else perfectly smooth and then discover one little bit of fucking glitter that's hanging off the edge of your nail. And last one. Alright, and that's the second layer of glitter. Finally, the top coat. If you're using a really glittery polish and you don't mind waiting a while, using a nice thick oozy top coat will help to smooth it out, but I'm not that patient. So I use this one, which is very fast drying and oozy enough to smooth out most of my glitters. Now when you're putting the top coat on, you want to do it quite gently so you don't wipe any of the glitter off or move it from where you very carefully placed it. But you can be quite generous with the top coat. Just get a big old blob and smush it around like that. With the top coat, don't fret too much about getting it on your hands because it's really easy to get off and actually kind of fun to peel off, like PVA on your fingers. And you'll see already that's looking a lot smoother and a lot more glassy. And we're done.